You've made enjoying wine a full-on business.
Some people say, oh, I don't like that dry red stuff.
Right.
But when they pair it with the correct food, they're like, oh, my God, I'm a Cabernet fan.
How does someone start if they've never had wine before?
What was it, Arbor Mist?
You know what?
Doesn't make you laugh.
Yes, I'm like, what in the world?
Hi, thank you for joining yet another episode of a Get Set with Lissette. This is where we have inspiring conversations that empower you to get set. With today's episode, we are actually going to be getting set for what? The upcoming holidays. This is a time where friends, families, individuals get together, and we typically break bread, enjoy great meals, and today, great wine. So I have with me no other than Char. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
And we will be discussing wine, why wine, how to pair wines with foods, and the experiences that wine brings. And I'd be remiss if I did not introduce one of my girls. She's back, guys. And she's here as a guest judge, guest taster, here just for the wine.
Here for the wine. And the laughter.
And the laughter so that we can have a conversation. So, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So, I always start my episodes just to kind of get things started with a this or that, okay? So, you just think off the top of your head, which one is more like you? Are you sweet or salty?
Salty.
Okay. I like you. Okay.
Sweet.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Morning.
Okay. Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Extrovert.
All right. For today's episode, white or red wine?
Red.
Definitely red.
All right. And then this one, there is no wrong. Watch the YouTube or listen to the podcast.
Watch the YouTube.
Listen to the podcast.
I'm loving this. All right. You are definitely a listener.
I'm a listener.
That's your thing. You just listen to it and let it flow while you're doing it.
I do it while I'm working, so I can't, watch. So I listen.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. So, Char, let's talk a little bit about you. So, where familial, where are you from? Just a quick background. Like, who is Char?
Okay. Well, I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, raised in Kokomo, Indiana.
Okay.
Have two brothers, my mom. So
Yeah.
we have a very small family.
Mm-hmm.
Came to Pennsylvania, been here. I guess I could consider myself a Pennsylvanian at this point.
Absolutely.
About 30 years now.
Oh, yeah.
I came here. I was 22.
Wow.
It's been here for a minute.
Okay.
But I still claim my Hoosier heritage.
Oh, go
Hoosier
ahead.
for life.
Don't not to get it twisted.
Right.
Hoosier for life. Okay, but you've been in Pennsylvania forever, so you just came with the family.
Well, no, I came with my first husband, and we ain't gonna even talk about that. But
No
that's how I got
need
here.
to it. Okay, no need to it.
Everything happens
Absolutely.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Amen. And if
Right.
nothing else, it got you here so that you can be here and do what you do.
That's it.
So let me ask, how were you introduced to wine?
So we're gonna go there, right?
Yeah,
Probably
let's
when
go.
I wasn't 21.
It's hey,
doing what I
look.
wasn't supposed to be doing. Sipping on that. What was it? Arbor Mist.
You know what?
Doesn't make you laugh.
Yes, I'm like, what in the world and
What was
why?
I drinking?
No, the way you feel about Arbor Mist, that's me with the Mad Dog, the MD 2020.
Did that too.
Jesus, what were we doing?
The Boone's
Did
Farm.
that. Did it all.
Okay, so just randomly, Arbor Mist is the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Random, I'm going to assume party kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just get together. That got you going.
Just been,
And how did you?
facetious.
Okay. And now here you are. And you're actually conducting now. Oh, you've made enjoying wine a full-on business.
Correct.
Now, you and I had spoken over the phone, and I found that conversation actually extremely interesting when you were saying how in the corporate world, you were actually looking to
Move up the ranks.
And in the midst of it, you had to actually go back to school, do different things, and wine was your companion
It was.
as you were studying, right?
Correct.
So kind of explain that story, because I thought it was actually hilarious, but then also full circle moment and now it actually makes you your coins. So stop playing.
Correct. So, as you said, I was in the corporate world, mostly male dominated.
Yes.
I had more experience than all of them. There was an open, high level, director position open. And the owner, instead of just saying no, or in my opinion, I don't want a woman in that role.
Right.
he talked about the fact that everyone at that level of management had a degree, and I didn't have a degree.
Right.
So I said, okay, we're going to play that game.
Right.
So I went back to school for 4 years, got my bachelor's
I
degree.
know that's right.
Actually love learning. So I set out like maybe 4 months and re-enrolled to school and went back and got my master's degree. So at that point,
there it is.
There was no, that excuse wasn't going to fly anymore, right? So that's why I went back to school.
Right.
With my master's degree, I have a true math phobia.
Okay.
And there's a lot of statistics and finance, and there's a lot of numbers, right?
Right.
I don't do numbers well. So,
Look, unless it's money.
well, yeah, I can count that all day. Anyway,
talk about
I can count that all day long. But I was just really stressed. Now, you have to keep in mind, I've been out of school for a long time. So you got this old lady, right, in here with all the young kids. So, I had to get the A, the 4.0. Don't get it twisted. I could be your mom, and we're going to do this.
Exactly. I love this. Right.
And I would really get stressed out, right, because I had to get the A, and I sit there, and sometimes I'm in tears.
Right.
And it seemed like the more wine I drank, the smarter I got.
You know what?
Yeah, so... At one point, I said to my mother, I was like, Mom, I might need some help until I can walk across the stage and get this degree.
Right.
So, so got both of my degrees, and I'm laying in bed thinking, you got a whole lot of debt you got to pay back, right? Like, I need to find a little side hustle, something just for some extra change,
right?
For all this education I decided to get. And just doing a Google search, I came across in-home wine tastings, and I was like, there's a job for that?
and speak on that, exactly.
Signed up for it, and I was with a company that closed recently, and the passion for it. Independent consultant for another company, and 8 years next month.
8 years. So can we talk about that? So wine got you through your studies, right?
Yep.
And now that same wine
helped me pay for it.
Is helping you pay for your studies.
Yeah, it was kind of like a sign. It's like, okay.
Why not?
Wine popped up. I was like, okay, it got me in debt. It can help me get,
Why not? There it is, right. Wine not.
Right.
Pun on words.
And that's how we actually met.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk on that. Yeah, how did the two of you meet? We do got our guest judge over here.
Look, sorry.
No, I'm loving it. No, yeah. How did that?
That's how we met. We met through a previous wine company.
Because you also were doing the wine guide, the wine tastings.
Yeah. I kind of adopted her.
Yes, she did. She put me under her wing. Because don't let her like downplay it.
Oh, I'm trying to make sure I don't.
She's a boss.
100%.
Very motivational and
absolutely.
What can I do?
Right.
So, if I ever needed help, she was right there. She wasn't my wine mama, but like she said, she adopted me and she can't get rid of me.
And there's just that. Well, because you clearly know what you're doing. And let's also not shy away at the fact that you were like, oh, you're not going to give me an opportunity because of what? Like, that's a boss move to be like, oh, let me go ahead and go back and not just get 1, but 2 degrees.
Right.
Now, please tell me you ended up getting the position later on in life.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
She's a boss.
And then, I got the position. And then I left. I was there for many, many years. And, once you got that insight at the top level and dealing with the owners and things like that, I really didn't agree with
I get that.
How they treated people and I just wasn't down with the culture.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
if you can't get with it, it's time to go, right?
There it is. And now here you are, and you're actually making a full-on business selling something that got you through school.
Right.
And making it work. So let's talk on that. What are some of the important essentials that people actually need to know when they're choosing wine? And how does someone start if they've never had wine before? Like, where do they start?
Well, of course, I'm going to say they should book a tasting with me, right? Because that's
which
an
we
opportunity.
will definitely have everything in the description. That's exactly it. Let's start with that.
So wine tasting is, a great way to identify what you like.
Right.
Add to that food pairings because some people say, oh, I don't like that dry red stuff.
Right.
But when they pair it with the correct food, they're like, oh, my God, I'm a Cabernet fan.
Exactly.
So food enhances the wine, but my suggestion is a wine tasting where you can try a different variety of wines, and you never know.
See what actually works and what you're going to like.
Try something new, a new grape varietal.
Yeah.
Something you never heard of.
I love that. So speaking on that, it's a perfect segue. So we're about to actually That's what we're doing today. We are pairing wines and trying wines right here, and you're going to walk us through like what that will look like. Yeah. Okay, so where do we start? How do you want me to get things starting? I'm ready to just start opening the bottles, doing what I need to do. You are here to tell me this whole experience.
Okay. Well, we always start with bubbles.
Okay, let's start with bubbles.
Start with the bubbles. You want me to open it?
Please open, and then I'll do all the other stuff. I do not want, because let me tell you, if I mess up, it will be a whole thing. But
yeah. So we're going to start with our bubbles, right?
Mm-hmm. And the correct way to open.
Please, because that's where I'm at with it.
Well, you always want to take the foil off first, which don't want to cooperate this morning. No. Let's get that.
Okay.
Sit this over here. You always have your cage, right? It's always going to have a little twist. So I always recommend holding the top of anything bubbly that's going to pop, right? Because just in case.
Protect the eyes.
Protect the eye, the
glass,
ceiling, the glass, the light bulb, all those good things. But you should hold the top.
Okay.
Right? Hold the top and twist the bottle.
Okay.
And it's usually about 3 twists. We'll get you your bubbles.
There it is.
Yeah, you want to hold the top, right?
Hold the top, twist
the bottle, because then you have that pressure on the top, so that cork's not going to go flying off anywhere.
Right. So
let's use your tall glass, you guys. No, the middle one. You're a little skinny. Let me give you some here. And with your bubbles, like when I do wine tastings, it's like a 1 to 2 ounce pour. But your bubbles, sometimes it's going to fizz up on you. I don't really do the measuring that well.
Okay.
Don't follow my lead.
A little heavy-handed.
Yeah, I'm a little heavy. I get a little heavy-handed.
Well, you know what you're doing, and you know what it is. You're like, let's go for it. So we starting with the bubbles.
We're going to start with some bubbles.
Okay.
So as you see the bubbles in your glass, just in case you didn't know, there's about anywhere from 50 to 200 million bubbles of carbon dioxide in a wine. Yeah.
So wait, just to kind of notice how 2 of us, if y'all can see this.
Okay, we're not going to do that. Hold on. The professionals were holding it on the stem.
Education.
Absolutely,
this is education.
Yep.
So let's speak on it.
Talk about
how she was holding her glass.
I was holding mine at the glass.
Yeah, you always want to hold it by the stem because you don't want to warm up your wine.
Okay.
The bubblies, you're going to serve them cold.
Right.
The whites, you're going to serve cold. You don't want to warm it so the heat from your hand will warm up your wine.
So everyone,
always hold it by the stem.
Always hold by the stem. Yeah. Do not do what I did and hold it at the top.
Right. And
hold
later
it at the stem.
About the steps of wine tasting, so you don't want fingerprints all over your glass either.
Fair.
You want to be able to see it.
Okay.
But cheers.
Cheers.
Actually, clink. Can we get it?
Why do I gotta have the big glass?
Here we go. It's all good.
You always want to let it roll on your tongue.
Okay.
So you can really taste it. What do you guys think?
This is good.
This is one of our newest wines. It's called Suave.
Oh, okay, Suave. With the Spanish.
So it's really, Suave. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
Really good.
Just sip on.
Right.
Makes the perfect mimosa. So later you can drop some orange juice in there.
Right.
That's one thing about wine, is very versatile.
Talk about that.
So you can drink it by itself. You can pair it with food. It makes perfect cocktails.
Amen.
You can put a little rum in there. Some just
make it a whole thing.
Yes, make it a whole thing.
Make sangrias, although not sangrias, but
no, not the bubbly, but yes,
bubbly, yeah.
Wine. We can make any kind of cocktail kind of thing. It's a versatile. So with this one, we can have a perfect mimosa, and we can actually drink it on its own because it actually is really good by itself.
Yes, and I know we're going to talk about food pairings later, but this is your pumpkin pie, your peach cobbler, your sweet potato pie. So this is perfect for dessert for Thanksgiving.
Okay, so this one's going to be perfect. All right, so a sparkling wine is perfect to go with your desserts for the holidays. This particular one, yes. This particular one.
With sweets, any sweet wine, when you're pairing sweet wine, they usually go with spicy foods.
Okay.
Or foods that are as sweet as the wine. So you always want to serve a dessert wine, a sweet wine with your desserts.
Okay. That was a word right there, guys. You always want to pair the wines with the food. So how do you say it? As sweet as the food that it pairs to.
With your sweets, yes.
Yes.
Or sweet with heat. I always tell people
with heat.
Take that with you.
Is good.
Sweet with heat. You can always your buffalo chicken dips. So your sweet wines are good, like your Rieslings and things. They're good for like tailgating and football. You know, with your hot wings and your buffalo chicken dip.
Okay.
Because it intensifies the heat.
Yep.
Like,
This
you'd
is
be
really
surprised.
good.
Yeah.
I could really
And everyone
finish.
loves buffalo chicken dip. Like,
Right. Unless you don't eat chicken or something.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. This is really good. Okay. So I'm ready to start pouring the others while we go. Do we want to make this a mimosa now? Real
Sure,
quick?
just drop
Drop some orange juice, show what
in
it's
there.
like. I'm on it.
Got it? Okay.
I do. So go ahead and continue to share because I'm off the mic, but share.
Yeah. So one of the things about what I do with this company, you don't have to be a wine expert. Like I'm telling you, the only thing I knew about wine was that it was red, white, and pink. That's it. You know, just a.
Look, you wanted a splash?
That's it. That's it.
Look,
Just a drop.
I know that's right.
Just a drop.
I'm not even mad at it.
You don't. You
Not
don't
mad at
have
it.
to be a wine expert to do what I do. Like the company that I'm with, they provide us with wine notes.
Okay.
Tells you all kinds of things. You know, just like this one here. One, it's a blend. There's some Chardonnay in here. There's
Glass.
some Symphony, some Pinot Noir. It's a blend of grapes in this wine.
Okay.
But you can pair this with savory pastries, chicken wraps.
Oh, wow.
You know, as I said, our mimosa, provolone cheese.
Okay. Which I saw you brought cheese too and some other stuff. So this one you can literally like have as a starter with the cheeses and different things. And it can also be a finisher with the sweets and everything of the sort.
Exactly.
So you can start and end
Exactly.
with this exact sparkling wine.
Right.
I want to
And
make sure.
Yes. And each of the bottles have a QR code on the back. You can scan that and it gives you some food recipe.
Really?
suggestions, too.
I'm loving this. Okay. So I don't want to keep drinking the whole cup, but we're going to make sure that we keep it moving because Lord knows if I don't, we about to be. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But this is good. And guys, don't forget, because I did it again, always the stem, not the glass, so that you
I'll
don't
get you
warm
there.
up your
I'll get
wine.
you there.
Because I continue to
I'm
want
going to keep a
to,
watch.
yeah, I want to
That's what I'm
continue.
here for.
Now, I'm going to pour the next one, and then you can tell us exactly what it is. So am I going to the white or am I going to the,
Let's start with the white.
okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour, and you can explain what I'm doing.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm excited.
So first you're going to use our beautiful stemware. At company, we also sell beautiful, beautiful stemware. No, the big one. Just kidding. Yeah, the beautiful. I said beautiful, beautiful. Big and beautiful.
Damn. Big mama.
You might want to stop there. That glass.
That's.
is-
I was gonna say that's a big glass.
yes, it's deceiving.
Here, you can give that one to Char. I'm sorry, I feel like the.
Oh no, you're going to drink that. I'll be done here with this in a minute.
Okay, that's good. This is a big glass,
It is a huge, but isn't it
but
beautiful?
it is beautiful. You know, I love me a good wine glass.
Now, if you don't mind,
I don't.
and then can I just use your glass for a second?
Yeah, of course,
Because you are familiar with this. So,
Yes.
let's do our steps of wine tasting.
Okay,
Are you
I'm
familiar
ready.
with our steps of wine
I
tasting?
do remember it's the stems. You got to find out where the stems are. You look at it, you smell it, you swirl it.
So there's 4. I'm gonna stop you right there, honey. I got you.
I was on
got
my
you.
way. It's been a while.
I got you. There's 4.
4 steps. Go.
So the first one is C.
Okay,
So
right,
what we
so
want to do
C.
is hold this up to the glass and see there's fingerprints on it. But
Okay.
anyway, and we're looking at the color and the clarity. So if
Okay.
you look at this, it's like a nice, I would call it like a light straw color,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Your white wines shouldn't have anything floating in it.
Fair.
Your reds might, because they're crushing everything
Crushing,
up
right.
with that. So also, just so that you know, white wines will get darker as they get older.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So you can age your white wines, depending on the alcohol content and the type of wine.
Right.
You can age it, and the older it gets, it's going to get darker in what they call that hue,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The next step is you want to smell it. So
Right.
see and smell.
See and
So
smell.
let's give it a sniff. I'll let you sniff. I'm not going to put my nose in her cup. Are you picking up any aromas?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to help you. Now
I
we're going to
am.
swirl it.
I was gonna say.
Give it a swirl.
I don't know why I feel like I smell floral,
There's some
though.
air in there. Now smell it again. It really opened that up, right?
It did,
so
actually.
the air
You can
just
smell
really
it more.
gets in there and aerates it and opens up that bouquet.
Absolutely. So you said bouquet because I want to say that what I smell is more floral, and I don't.
Well, we can look here. There's not really floral, but
Okay.
maybe you're smelling like pear. Get
Okay,
some more air
I
in
could
there
give
and
you
smell
that.
it
I could
again.
give you that.
And everyone's nose is different.
Yes, not everyone can
I want to
smell
say that
everything.
it's a sweet, like a sweet flower kind of smell, but maybe that is the pear that you're talking about. Because I want to say it's like a sweet.
So I can tell you on the nose, this
Definitely
here
pear.
has like
That's
some
what it is. See,
grapefruit,
yeah.
some pear, some green apple, and maybe you're smelling that minerality.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like what I'm thinking is like a nice floral, quote unquote, is more just a sweetness. That's what I'm picking up on. Like, I think it might be when you said green apple, I think that might actually be it. Yeah. Okay. I'm doing all right. All right.
Okay.
So it's sweet. Well, at least it smells like it is. Haven't
So
tried
we
it yet.
see, right?
Yes.
We smelled,
Okay.
we swirled.
We
And
swirl.
now we can sip.
And now we sip. Okay.
And then we're going to talk about some legs. You ever heard people say, look at the legs on that wine?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
That's a good wine.
It's a good wine.
Yeah,
That's a really good wine.
A Pinot Grigio. It's got a little
Okay.
bit of Gewürztraminer in it, right? Which both of those, Pinot Grigio and Gewürztraminer, perfect for Thanksgiving.
Really?
Perfect for Christmas.
Okay.
They pair really well with like herbs and garlic and onions, those big, bold, savory
Okay.
flavors that
Yes.
you get from your Thanksgiving dinner.
Absolutely.
Just
Yes.
brings that all out.
Okay.
Right,
This is beautiful
high fat
stuff.
foods, which everything on Thanksgiving table.
Talk about
just
it.
looking at it's gonna make
Look.
you gain some weight, right?
Right,
But it pairs really good with like high fat,
Okay.
savory
Okay.
herbs,
Herbs foods.
right?
So this is perfect for the holidays.
It is. Now, I would recommend for Thanksgiving having a Pinot Grigio, a Gewürztraminer. If
Okay.
you really want to knock everyone's socks off, right?
Right.
A Viognier.
Okay.
Rosé
Yes.
is a perfect pairing.
Okay.
So I can tell you at my house this year I have Viognier, we have a Rosé.
Okay, so
and
you
we have
showing
a Cab
out.
and a Merlot.
And a Cab and a Merlot. So
Yes.
you've got the wines for every single.
Got it all
Yes.
covered.
She's got it covered.
Look, and do you expect anything less?
Not from this wine
you
professional.
know, when you're entertaining too, you have to in my opinion, there's a rule
Okay.
for people coming to your house for any kind of gathering with wine.
And what's the rule?
You start with your whites,
Okay.
right? Because, unless you're serving like a big full body Chardonnay, they're a little lighter, a little lower in alcohol, right? So you start with your whites while, everyone's getting their coats off and, the cornbread or whatever's still in the oven.
Right, everyone's
not
just
ready
getting
to sit
comfortable,
down, they're
right.
just socializing.
Congregating, having a little bit of combos. Yeah.
Right. Then with your dinner, you serve
Yeah.
your red. That's where you got your big, bold, you got that
Okay.
higher alcohol content. So that food is helping, you don't want everybody.
Right.
Right. And
Absolutely.
then you have your dessert. And that's where you serve your sweet.
The sweet and
Right.
then lovely sparkling. Okay.
So in my house,
Yes.
it's white, red, sweet. Now it's time for you to go.
Talk
You got to
about
go
it.
home.
You ain't got to go home, but it's time for you to get out of here.
I know that's right. So you're like, I done gave you all of the things. So take notes, guys. This is like perfection for the way to host not only just the holidays, but a meal. Like any dinner party. This
Exactly.
is a rule of thumb to follow.
Well, and you have to think about it. Do
Yeah.
you really want everyone coming in the door and you're giving them this big bold Cabernet? Because
Okay.
that one uncle, you always got that one uncle or aunt, they're going to be drunk by the time dinner starts.
Listen.
And someone's going to be showing out, right? So you don't want everyone get fired up too soon. It's like you can, sip on this and then
Right.
we're going to pair this with some food.
Right.
To suck
soak
up
it up.
some of that alcohol. 'Cause
Absolutely.
there's not going to be any showing out today.
I'm not
in
mad
this
at it at
house.
all.
Not today.
And the way that you're pairing it, you're going to be able to be in a position where you've got the right foods to bring out the right taste, to allow for this taste of that wine to go. And hey, it's a perfection. This is a nice little stream of events. And now I need you out this door. Like, it works.
I'm not rude, y'all. I'm not rude.
No,
for real.
I know.
No,
but
she's
you
very
people
hospitable.
always,
I have
This is-
the friendship. I've gone out to her house,
Right.
on different occasions. And one thing my girl gonna have, she gonna have the wine.
She gonna have the wine.
And my
And she
husband's gonna cook.
And he's gonna cook.
And y'all know exactly how to make a good dinner party.
Yeah,
Listen.
Look, all I do
Chef's
is
kiss.
pick
She
out
said
the.
chef's kiss.
Chef's
I
kiss.
just pick out the wine because he's cooking something. You can't even leave my house without food.
I'm not mad at
Right?
that though.
And
We were
like-
just out there on Sunday,
He's
and
like, I got some pies and some smoked cheese for
before
you.
we even left,
Right.
he gives Emerson a plate of mac and cheese.
Yep. Because he had mac and cheese. He was cooking that. And he was like, you like mac and cheese? Oh, she's got teeth. Let me give her some mac and cheese.
She's got teeth.
Yeah,
Because
so she's
for
eating
you,
mac and cheese.
Emerson's literally her daughter, who's one. She is officially one. I was going to say barely one, but she is one. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, look, it sounds like y'all know what y'all doing here.
Well, what I want you guys to do, if you
Yes,
don't mind,
please.
real
I
quick,
want everything.
I want you to pair it. There's some mozzarella cheese.
Okay. I'll
So
open the cheese.
I want you guys to, here's some mozzarella cheese. I want you to try.
Okay.
Okay.
Just try a little piece of mozzarella cheese.
Now, how do you pair?
Well,
Like,
what you want to do is going to be sip,
Okay.
cheese, sip. So your wine is like a condiment, like ketchup or mustard, right?
Okay.
So you want to take a sip of your wine.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I have a piece of cheese
a bite of
ready.
the cheese.
So that way I'm ready to go and I'm
And
going to
then
grab my
another
wine.
sip.
Okay.
So like this Pinot Grigio is going to pair with like your roasted chicken, steamed clams,
Okay.
mozzarella cheese, grilled cheese. So you can have it for lunch.
So we're going to sip.
Sip.
Sip, cheese, sip. You want to have a little bit of the cheese in your mouth when you take your next sip. Like I said, it's a condiment.
Okay.
And tell me what you think. You'll see how it changes because you guys were sipping on it by itself.
It smooths it out.
And there's no like aftertaste at all at that point. Like it's like a perfect.
But it completely kind of changed that wine
changes.
for you, right?
I'm going to correct her this whole episode.
This whole episode. Let me
Because
tell
she's
you,
going to get it right. She's going to leave here holding her glass right.
guys.
It made you
Always
a little
the
tipsy.
stem. Always the stem.
Always
okay.
the stem.
But no, I agree. It smooths it out. It makes it like really good. And like I said, it's not even a bad aftertaste when I was talking about the aftertaste. Like, you know how you can taste the wine?
It's called
but
the finish.
the finish, exactly. But when I had the cheese and I drank another sip, it just felt like it was just
Yeah, it changed the whole, just the
Right.
whole feel,
100%.
even the mouth feel.
Yes, 100%. This is a crash course on the way to actually enjoy wine.
It is.
I am not mad at this. This is really good too.
It is really good. So this is something that you could definitely drink by itself.
Right.
Not even pair it with food.
All of our wines pair with a glass.
Look, some people, we just drink the wine. We don't pair, but that was good.
That was really
you know,
good.
to be honest, that's what I used to do, right?
Okay.
I really wasn't into the food pairings until I actually started,
Understanding.
understanding it and starting the business.
Okay.
And it really just changed my whole perspective. I've gained a lot of weight since in the last 8 years of doing this.
It's called happiness. That's that
Listen.
happy
Right.
weight.
But wine pairs with really simple things like cheese, chocolate, Doritos,
Goldfish.
Oreos, goldfish,
Okay.
ice cream.
I love me a
you
good
know.
ice cream and some wine.
Yeah. So you can have, it's very simple.
Right.
When you think, I'm going to have this wine tasting, you think, oh, I got to have all this food. No,
Right.
you don't.
You don't.
A couple cheeses, some chocolate, some potato chips, some strawberries.
Right.
That's it.
I'm not crazy because I actually love chips and wine. Like when we were going through the sweet or salty and all of that, I'm salty. Like I tend to, if I'm going to get a snack, I tend to go salty. But I love a good like chip. But I've been doing chips, and I don't know if I'm pairing it right, but I do chips with like a red wine. And I don't.
You can.
Okay.
And I have some chips here because before we move on to our last wine
Yep.
that we're going to do, which is a red, potato chips actually cleanse the palate.
Oh.
That salt and that fat cleanses your palate.
Okay.
And prepares you for the next one.
And it prepares you for the next one.
So, it's not wrong. Don't
Okay.
misunderstand what I'm saying.
No,
You
no,
go
no. I
to
appreciate this. Yeah.
wineries, they give you the little oyster crackers, to cleanse your palate.
Okay.
That's okay. But your chip is going to have more fat. It's thinner, right?
Okay.
Or you use like a kettle chip.
Right.
You get more of that fat and that salt.
Okay.
It's going to cleanse the palate.
So what I'm basically doing when I'm doing my chips and red wine, I'm literally for every chip I have, I'm cleansing my palate.
You're not.
Oh,
What
okay.
you're doing is you're making that red wine taste really good because everything tastes good with fat, right?
Okay,
Bacon.
that's fair.
Everything
Okay.
goes with
Listen.
bacon, right?
I don't do bacon, but no, I feel
But the
you.
fat,
The fats
you know?
of it all. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I thought it was just a me thing. Like, I love a good like kettle chip, like chips.
Oh, yeah.
And red wine.
You can do a whole tasting with potato chips, like
I've done
different
that
type of
before.
Pringles. You know, whether you have your barbecue, your plain,
right.
your what is it, sour cream and onion. Yes, you can have a complete
Even
tasting.
the dill.
Yep.
So each chip can pair with a.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Wine pairings can be that simple. You
It
could
can
do
be
all
that
chips.
simple.
You could do all cheese. You could do ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
that
it's really
simple.
fun, like some fun themes, right?
Right. Right.
You can make a sangria out of all of your wines.
Okay. I am getting so much education right now. And this is a really good wine. We're going to put the description of everything because you guys need to purchase. Like, this is amazing. All right. So I'm going to get ready for the next one and you can tell us what we're doing here.
Well, if you finish that in your glass,
I will.
Or maybe you can pour it in the other one if
In the mimosa.
Yes, or in your little red one because we can use the same glass for your red.
Okay.
I think it'll be better for your red wine.
Got it. And we're going here now, right?
Yes. So this here, can I just see that before you pour it? Can I just show everyone this here?
Yes.
This here, so when I started with this new company, I said, oh my God, they made a wine for me.
Uh-oh.
This brand here is our Infinite Wisdom.
Infinite
Get it?
wisdom.
Because for those of you, if you know me, I know everything.
Yes. Okay.
There's nothing I don't know.
Well, I've gotten nothing but schooled so far today.
And remember,
so
wine helped me get my
it got your
Infinite
bachelor's
Wisdom.
and your master's degree. So
So
this
is this your wine?
This is just my brand.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't matter what wine's in it, I'll drink it. But
I love
I'm
it.
just
I'm
just
not
being
mad
honest.
at it.
But this here, I was like, oh my
Yes.
God, see, I like this company already. They made a label.
Infinite-
that
It's
speaks
a pretty
to me.
label too.
Infinite Wisdom.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
when wine
If you can
has-
see
has
it, I was
pretty
going to say, if we
labels.
can make sure that
I
you
don't know if
see
they can
the Infinite
see it.
Wisdom, that is phenomenal. Yes.
Here you go.
Now, I will definitely pour now.
Yes, this is our Merlot. A lot of people say they don't like Merlot. Merlot is really good. This is actually 100% Merlot from the Lodi region of California. It's sustainably grown. So, you know, there's no
Don't grab my
chemicals
glass
or
like that.
harsh chemicals or anything like that. And
Told you I'm gonna check you every time.
I can have a little bit of that. Now, I really want you guys to do your steps on your red wine. Especially you guys have our beautiful glass. So one of the main, I think, experiences with your red wine is those aromas. That's why they normally serve them in those big goblets.
Okay.
And every time you take a drink, your nose goes in it.
In it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because those aromas. So this one here, if we look,
Yes.
it's like a dark garnet color. Like you can't even see
Through it.
your shadow. You can't even see through it. It's like a really dark garnet, which
Right.
is absolutely beautiful.
That means this is about to be good.
absolutely beautiful.
And
right?
garnet's my
Now
birthday.
let's talk about the legs. So you heard people say, look at the legs on that wine.
Right.
Have you? They're talking about the drips.
Right.
Some people call it church windows. Some people call it tears.
Okay.
And all that's talking about is it gives you an indication of the alcohol content. You know,
Okay.
if you have a lot of legs that gather together, you know, that's indication of higher alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Right? It could also be residual sugar because sugar has weight. So you could have a sweet wine that has some really long
Legs.
hanging legs,
This
along
is
with
really
how
nice.
they separate. The bigger the church window or tier, whichever you want to refer to it.
I'm not
Or if
mad
the legs
at
are open, it's a little easier to go down.
That too, see.
it. Well, there's that.
There's that.
There's
I learned that.
Okay.
And let's give this one a smell.
Let's go.
And you definitely got to swirl it.
I smell tobacco.
Get some air in there. You smell
Oh, I
tobacco?
Yeah. But like earthy.
Yeah, there's definitely
It's
some
the herb.
tobacco
I was
in
going to
there.
say, for me, it's earthy. That's the first thing that came to mind
Black
for me.
currant, you know, plum, blackberry.
I could see the plum. I was going to go earthy.
blueberry.
Look, the legs are still coming down.
Yeah, and this one's got a little kick to it. It's almost 14% alcohol. Your average bottle is 12.5.
Okay, so this one's got kick. Yeah.
Listen.
And you gotta
So can we
taste it.
talk about alcohol content real quick? Like, because,
Let's talk about it. You want to talk real quick? So the average
We've had
do you wanna know
experience
about it? Yeah, so
We've had
with
experiences.
Red Zinfandel, it's a Zen. Yeah, we at our old place that we worked, there was one that was like 16.5%. You needed like
Caution,
a glass.
like beware
got it.
when the alcohol content is like 16.
And I think people need to know that because that feels like it's not that big, but when you're thinking about true alcohol content in a really good wine, like that is something to actually be mindful of.
Yeah, so that you're not.
Lesson learned like no other, so that you're not like caught off guard. And especially if you're getting wines that taste this good, you can get lost in the taste and not realize just how much is actually
And lost in the house.
and lost in the house. Exactly. But if you're pairing it with the right foods.
Yes.
I mean, that still doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Even with. So this one is 14 and you said the average is 12.
12 and a half.
12 and a half. Okay.
Yeah. So let's give it a taste.
I'm ready.
Let that roll around your tongue. Now, a lot of people don't like red wine. Some of them
do.
because of the bite and, those tannins. They don't like that filling on the side of their jaws and things. I love it, personally. But
This
you
is
have
a good
to try
wine.
this with chocolate.
Okay.
Your red wines always pair with chocolate. Now, let me tell you, I have dark chocolate and milk chocolate.
Okay.
If you don't mind, try it with a piece of each. Personally, I did not like dark chocolate until I started drinking red wine.
Do you want chocolate? No.
Okay.
Until I started drinking red wine, it's just something about like a big boat cab or a Merlot and a piece of chocolate. Even black licorice.
I am not a black licorice fan.
Exactly.
Who likes the
Try it
black
with
licorice?
I can only eat black licorice with wine.
There's no way that wine makes black licorice taste better.
I know. I understand. I felt the same
I
way.
understand. There's no way.
But it does. Like, get you a nice red Zinfandel and pair it with a piece of black licorice. It will blow your mind, literally.
We're
To
gonna
this
try
date, I will not eat black licorice with anything for any reason unless I'm pairing it with a red wine.
I'm trying the wine with the chocolate.
So I went milk chocolate first.
So did I.
My personal preference is
What's your personal? The dark chocolate is better?
the chocolate that I would never eat before.
Yeah, like with the milk chocolate, it didn't really do anything for me. But I know with the dark chocolate, it's gonna.
I think all it did for me when I paired it, it's the same with the other wine. I feel like the flavor just kind of, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound crazy, but it like burst.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like just happened. Like I feel like with the milk chocolate, when I took the second sip, it kind of like did like a burst kind of
Like enhance.
enhance. Exactly. I'm like, that's the only thing that I feel like it did with the milk chocolate. Like it was like I got an enhanced flavor.
Okay. Curious to see what you think about dark chocolate.
That's what I'm going to do next. I'm like, now I'm going to actually go ahead with the dark chocolate. So with this Merlot, when you're thinking like holiday staples, what goes good with this wine?
Well, I mean, this here is going to pair
While I
with
try.
turkey and gravy.
Okay, so this is good for the turkey. This is good for the staple.
Yes, it's going to pair with your turkey, your gravy, mashed potatoes. Along with a good Cabernet. The number one wine, and I'll be honest, I drink all mine, okay, is a Pinot Noir.
Okay.
If, for your Thanksgiving, I would highly recommend getting a Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
Yes. That, a Merlot, a red Zin, Zinfandel, or a Cabernet.
I just want to take a moment to say that she was right. This dark chocolate with the wine.
Completely different experience, right?
Completely different. For the milk chocolate, I can say that it was just more of a enhancement. I honestly feel, and I know that it didn't change its taste, but I feel like it actually changed the taste a little bit. Like it oh my God. Okay.
And it will.
It changed the way that I feel like it tasted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So you liked it with which did you prefer?
I prefer the
milk or
dark chocolate. I do prefer the dark.
And I believe you said you like Syrah.
Syrah's more my go-to when it comes to red. We were talking about it before.
Get
Yeah.
that with some dark chocolate.
Okay.
And I know you're not going to buy black licorice, but if
I'm
you
not.
happen to come across a piece of black
Everybody just
licorice,
starts sending her black licorice.
yes,
Please don't.
yes.
I'm like,
Send
that
her
is
a piece,
not-
mail her a piece of.
Okay.
Try it with that Syrah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we got nothing but a crash course so far on like the best of the best. So this one is the staple. This is the one that's going with the meal. A Pinot Noir, this Merlot. This is
Or
the
Viognier.
or Viognier.
pairs with everything on cranberry sauce, your mac and cheese, your turkey, your stuffing.
This is the way to go. And you have really changed the game because I need more black chocolate. Like I need black chocolate
dark chocolate
and
with
finishing this. Like that. This
Yep.
dark chocolate was
I
amazing.
I bought you some more. And you don't have to pair it with that, but your red wines are really good with your charcuterie boards.
Okay.
Where you have your salami, your pepperoni, and your different cheeses.
Is it the fats
meats.
again? The idea of the meats, the fats, that's actually going to enhance the wine.
It's really good.
I feel like I'm learning now. Tell me if I'm doing better. And I haven't done it
I
again.
know. Trust me, I've been watching.
When it comes to, I was going to say always the stem, and I'm making sure that I do that. I want to make sure. So what else can we share when it comes to wines? Like, what advice are you giving someone? I know you were saying do the wine tasting. That allows you to figure out the palate and figure out what makes sense to you. But if you're also just a person who's like, I have a dinner party and I'm just trying to like impress, or I'm trying to do something right. Like, what's like a staple wine that's like, this is going to at least go with most meals kind of thing? Or is that even something that you can do?
It really, really there's not that perfect wine to have, because everyone's palate and taste is different.
Right.
I just recommend, honestly, just having a variety.
Okay.
Have a sweet wine, have a white wine, maybe a white that's has a little more sugar on it, a little sweeter, and a
Okay.
drier wine, like a
dry.
Cabernet,
Okay.
because some people don't like the residual sugar.
Right.
And reds, I would recommend having a couple reds, maybe like a Pinot Noir, which
Right.
is, I want to say lower in tannins. We refer to the Pinot Noir as the beginner's red.
Got it.
Because the
Okay.
tannins are low on it, right? And maybe something, like our Syrahs.
Right.
or
I
a
do like
cab,
a good Syrah.
you know?
Yeah. She put me on to a Syrah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite varietals. I prefer a Petit
Okay.
Syrah is my...
In my journey into wines, because I used to be, and this is just my opinion, and I don't know if it's true for all, but I feel like when I was first introduced to wine, I was introduced to wine from a place of like your typical Moscato kind of thing. And now when
Of course.
now when I think back, I realize how sweet it is and how it's not really giving the experience of a true wine. Like it's more sugar than anything else. But when she started her journey and we started doing tastings, I realized, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but the Syrah to me was like a full blend. Like it had like a really bold taste, but it also didn't have a hard finish, like you were saying. Like it's just smooth, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just dry enough that I can take, but it wasn't something that I felt like was like, oh my gosh, like
Right.
horribly dry. And I don't know if that's true, but that's the one that I've kind of stuck with, and I've been with it ever since.
Well, so what I was going to say is people, I hear people say, oh, the sweet wine drinkers, oh, you'll learn to drink the other thing. People like what they like.
Fair.
They may try a red and go, oh, this is nice.
Right.
And maybe they might buy a couple bottles of that or maybe drink that for a while. But they're always going to go back to we always go back to what we
like.
And it's okay.
And that's
you
fair.
just venture out, you try new things.
Okay.
But you always go back to what you like.
What
we
you like.
What we like.
And so that's just to say that I just like the Syrah. There's something
Well, no,
about it.
And you could have just developed the taste like that's now what you want.
Fair.
So
fair. That's
it's
Over time, it
over
just-
time, just like with anything, we change
Right,
our preferences
fair,
and what we
absolutely.
like, right?
Right.
So it's not to say that you're going to go back to wanting Moscato.
Right.
Because now, maybe this is your new palate. This
Right.
is your new, your new thing, your
Yeah.
expectation out of a wine.
Well, and I do think, because I've had Moscato again, and I can taste now the sweetness. Like, I feel like the sweetness is overpowering.
The residual sugar, yeah.
And I can taste it now. So I feel like my palate has changed, like you've said. And in it, now I can actually recognize how sweet a Moscato really is. And I actually think I get headaches sometimes when I drink like just Moscato or something, because it must be just the sugar.
Well, really, in all fairness, and I am going to plug my company. Our wine is.
I need you to.
We don't add any additional additives or preservatives or anything. Our wine is just grapes and water.
Exactly.
Right?
There's a difference between mass produced and small batches.
And talk about that.
But as far, just like your mass-produced things, they are putting something in there, right? Because they all taste the same.
Exactly.
They're making millions of bottles of it, right?
Right.
So ours are small batch. They will run out. Our winemaker, we have our own personal winemaker from Bordeaux, France.
Oh, I love that.
He will make some more.
Right.
It's going to taste different because it's going to be different grapes, a different harvest. But back to your headache.
Yes.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's sugar. It's dehydration.
Okay.
It really
That's fair.
is, because what happens is, people, you're drinking wine.
Right.
The rule of thumb is you should have a glass of water per glass of wine.
A glass of water per glass of wine. Okay.
But you need to be hydrated.
Right. Okay.
So that's where you're getting that headache.
Got it.
We get alcohol dehydrates you, whether you're drinking rum and Coke or wine.
It's a matter of dehydration.
So you need to
pair it according and hydrate yourself.
Have some water with it. Yeah.
Right. Food to kind of coat your stomach, pairing it the way that you've shared with us. And then if you follow the rule of thumb where it's like for every glass you're having, you're also making sure that you have some water to hydrate yourself.
Yes.
And that's going to allow for the best experience to make sure that
Correct.
you're in a good position.
Yes.
And then going back to what you were saying, because I want you to plug it in. So because of the fact that your company only does small batches, like what does that look like for the consumer experience? Like how does that look when they're trying to purchase things and then all of a sudden, like what is that looking like?
Well, we only make he makes maybe a couple thousand cases, right?
Okay.
It just depends on the grapes. So I always tell people, if you like it, you want to buy it.
I know that's right.
If you like it, you don't want you might want 6 bottles instead of that 1 or that 2,
because it's not going to be something you can get again.
Well, it's not going to. We have our labels, right? So he will make another Viognier. He will make another Chardonnay. But as I said, we're not adding anything in there to make it always taste the same.
So it's going to
taste different. You're going to have different grapes, different growing temperatures, different,
It's a true wine, right?
Yes. There's nothing added.
There's nothing added to it.
If you like it, buy it up.
I'm not mad at that. So we did our tasting. Is there anything else that we need to try with something just so that individuals know? I want to make sure that we get the full experience.
Well, no, not really. I mean, like I said, there's some salami and cheese there if you guys want to pair that. Of course, we had our chips.
Okay.
Our mimosa.
Right.
But as I said, you can scan the back of any bottle. It'll give you some food pairing suggestions.
And we're going to make sure to put all of your information in the description so that you can literally go to your website. You can literally go to the website to actually pair. 'Tis the season, guys.
It is.
'Tis the season.
If not more.
Buy 3 or more?
Buying 3s.
Buying 3s. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to look at making sure that we buy in 3s. And if you get an idea of what kind of 3s, she made it perfectly. You want to have a sparkling wine. You want to make sure you have a white. And you want to make sure you have a red.
Well, when you visit my website, sometimes we put together bundles.
Right.
So you can check out bundles. There's sangria mixes and things out there, food pairings.
Yes.
We have award winners. So far, to date, our company has won over 453 wine awards and counting. So you can shop.
453. Don't shy off of that. Talk about it.
453. Alex is something special.
Yeah.
He really is. So you can shop by white, sparkling, red. You can buy your style of wine. You can shop award winners.
Okay. Yeah. So on every episode, I always do key takeaways. And first off, this episode was so much fun. Wine is fun, okay? Whether you drink or not, it's an experience.
Wine events are fun.
Well, you know what they say, and I can't tell you who had this quote, but they say wine holds more memories than any beverage in the world.
Oh,
and I truly believe that.
Wine holds more memories than any other beverage in the world. I love that. I feel that right now. Like, that is amazing. So here are my key takeaways for today's episode. One, you like what you like. So you have to be true to your own palate. You have to make sure that you're, listening to what it is, and you're always going to go back to what it is that you like. The second, it was a lot, actually. So the second is the idea of making sure that when you drink your wines, you find the sparkling, like sweet is good with your
Sweet with heat.
Or you're sweet with your actual dessert. So I want to make sure I said that right. Like, that is a really good pairing. And making sure that you're being mindful of what it is that you're presenting. So when you're getting ready for the holidays, being true to what you know the menu to be, and then finding opportunities for it. My third takeaway, and this is a straight plug for Char, is if you're not certain how you want to plan your meals, the beauty of the wines that they have is that there are QR codes in the back. You can actually find the appropriate foods and what pairs best with the wine bottle of your choice. So that's important. And my final takeaway is exactly what she just said at the end, which is the fact that wine is the beverage that just holds the most memories. It's the most fun. It allows for an opportunity for us to break bread, enjoy each other's company, have amazing conversations, and it makes for the best memories, just like this episode is doing exactly that. So as we prepare for the holidays, as we get ready for this upcoming season that's coming up, Thanksgiving's in the near future, we also have Christmas and or anything else. The holiday season is a time to just surround yourself with the people that you love the most, enjoy each other's company, have amazing conversations, have amazing meals, and enjoy it with an amazing glass of wine.
Look at the way she held her glass.
She did.
So, and I did it
right.
And I did it right by the end of the episode. That's my last takeaway. So, as always, guys, sending light, sending love. Happy holidays. Cheers, ladies. Cheers.